Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Usapang tariffs na naman tayo. Eto na naman tayo, guys. Yesterday, US President Donald Trump announced that starting April 2, papatawan na raw po ng 25% tariffs ang lahat ng mga sasakyang dinadala sa Amerika. Kasama po dyan yung mga sasakyang ina-assemble sa Canada na araw-araw, sa totoo lang, dinadala po sa US. Nako, FYI guys, I live in Windsor, Ontario. This happens to be one of the big auto hubs in Canada. Marami po ditong mga auto assembly plants. Marami po dito yung mga supplier ng mga auto plants na yan. Nandito rin po ang mga factory nila. So marami po mga residente dito sa amin employed sa auto sector. Kasama na po dyan ang aking asawa. And that is why we are closely monitoring developments regarding this because kung matuloy yung kinatatakutan ng marami na magsarado, halimbawa, yung auto assembly plants, isa po sa mga mawawala ng ICJJ yung aking asawa, no? And honestly, on a personal note lang, it's the uncertainty of it all, yung pag-announce na mag-take effect na yung tariffs in the past few months, di ba? Tapos biglang babawiin. It's happened a few times. Yun yung medyo nakaka-stress. At this point, we really just want to hear the final decision. Kung itutuloy na ba talaga, ituloy nyo na. Just so we can plan our future, di ba? Just so we will know if, sasabihin ko kay JJ, bumalik na nga lang siya sa pagiging nurse, I mean, i-pursue na lang niya yung nursing because yun naman po yung background niya. I'm sure hindi lang po kami yung pamilyang, kumbaga, nag-aabang sa mangyayari dito sa tariff issue na ito dahil nakasalalay po yung decision, big family decisions namin. Okay, anyway, speaking of layoffs, sige, bago po yung tariff sa auto, meron na pong unang pinatawan kasi ng taripa ang Amerika. Yan po ay ang steel and aluminum ng Canada. It took effect, I think, just more than a week ago, ha? And what's worrisome, this early pa lang po, meron na po tayong nababasang mga reports na na-layoff na. Sige, I will show you that article. Ayan. This is from the Globe and Mail. Sabi dito, hundreds of Canadian workers in steel, aluminum sectors laid off due to US tariffs. This was just published yesterday, March 26. So hundreds so far have been laid off. Okay? Isipin niyo, March 12 lang, ito sabi, March 12 inimpose yung tariffs and already hundreds have lost their jobs. So if this is prolonged, the situation, more might get laid off. Okay? Yun na nga masaklap kasi more tariffs are coming on April 2nd. Hindi lang po magpapatuloy itong sa steel and aluminum, hindi lang po yung sa auto, kundi several other products which we will talk about later, Pero guys, hindi lang po yung mga Canadian workers ang affected, Let me show you this article na ito. Reporting that even US steel workers have already been laid off. Some, or hundreds also. So kung ito total daw yung mga nawala ng trabaho from US and Canada, from this industry, more than 1,000 na ito. Job cuts affect operations in Michigan, Minnesota, sa US po yan, and then in Canada, sa Ontario and Quebec. So tama naman po yung sinasabi lagi ng mga opisyal ng Canada na yung ginagawa po ni Trump, these tariffs instigated by him will affect not just Canadians and other countries na gusto niyang patawan pa ng taripa, kundi pati mismo mga US families. Nakita niyo naman po dun sa report na yun. And again, what's worrisome is more industries could be affected starting April 2nd. Kung ituloy po niya, hindi lang yung sa auto, pati yung nauna niyang sinabi na reciprocal tariffs. Ano ba yung reciprocal tariffs? Sabi po ni Trump noon, several weeks ago, papantayan niya yung taripang pinapataw sa Amerika ng lahat ng bansang nagdadala ng produkto doon. Halimbawa na lang po sa Pilipinas, hindi po accurate ito halimbawa lang to. Pilipinas, lahat pala ng American goods, binibigyan niya ng 50% tariff. Okay, gusto ni President Trump, sige, lahat din ng produktong galing Pilipinas sa dadalhin niyo sa Amerika, 50% tariff din ang ibibigay ko. Parang ganun po ang gusto niya mangyari because he is saying, For so many years daw po, may unfair trade na nangyayari. Okay. O sige, bigyan na natin sa kanya yun kung yun po ang gusto niyang gawin. Pero, that was his statement from several weeks ago. Ito na naman, nagbago na naman nga tungkol dyan sa reciprocal tariffs. Just a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, sinabi niya, alam mo, merong ilang mga bansang baka hindi ko muna isama. So again, the uncertainty and the indecisiveness continues. Talaga, hintayin na lang. Wala tayong choice, sa totoo lang, kung di hintayin ng April 2 kung ano talaga mangyayari. No? It's causing so many families so much anxiety and stress. Kami halimbawa, wala kaming choice kundi sa totoo lang manood na lang ng news at abangan anong sinasabi ng mga opisyal ng Canada sa tulong na maaaring asahan ng mga pamilyang maapektuhan. Okay, kasi alam mo, araw-araw halos tinatanong ko si JJ, o ano, wala bang sinasabi sa inyo yung union ninyo, yung mga boss ninyo, sa paano pinaghahandaan yung tariffs? Parang wala. Sa totoo lang, wala po akong naririnig from his side, his employer. And I think the reason is because things are changing every day. Siguro hindi sila maka-form ng message kung ano bang sasabihin ng mga sa empleyado namin kasi pabago-bago ang isip ng Amerika. Baka ganon, di ba? Can't blame them. Oh guys, tignan nyo, may update na agad ako, akalain nyo. Habang ini-edit ko tong video na to, si JJ pumasok sa work. Aba, agad niyang nirelay sa akin, pagpasok niya pa lang daw ng gate, meron daw po siyang workmate na nagsabi sa kanya na may ugong-ugong usap-usapan na April 7 daw ay baka mag-layoff na raw sila. Now, that is not yet verified, but this gives you an idea on the anxiety and stress that the recent announcement from the US is already causing yung workers dyan. No? FYI, about 4,000 workers po sila doon sakaling malilay off kung matuloy nga yan sa April 7. But, again, hintay-hintay pa rin ang official announcement. Update ko kayo tungkol dyan pag meron na. Okay, back to episode. So again, ako naman, everyday nanonood na lang ako ng news and I will share with you what the latest statements are from, unahin natin, si Prime Minister Mark Carney. Okay. Ito, medyo may sigh of relief naman akong naramdaman para sa amin, ano? Nung sinabi niya ito kahapon lang. Actually, nag-visit siya dito sa Windsor, no? Si Mark Carney just yesterday. I will just show you part of his message, ha? Dahil ang haba nito eh.
We made a commitment a few weeks ago to use every dollar that we collect from retaliatory tariffs to support workers, to directly go to support workers. And last week, we made a series of changes to the EI system in order to take the first big step to make good on that promise. There'll be more. We've announced, of course, retaliatory tariffs. We have other options for those retaliatory tariffs. I have asked for a meeting, I will convene rather, a meeting of the Canada-US cabinet tomorrow to discuss our trade options. But we're also providing the option of major liquidity for our companies. We put in place an ability for companies to delay tax payments. We've put in place a large facility for our largest companies, some of them which may be affected by this, would be affected by this, to draw on liquidity in various forms so that they can take longer-term decisions without undue pressure from short-term unjustified actions. It's also why we focused, in part in anticipation of what might happen, on today's announcement that I made in front of that Ambassador Bridge, for the $2 billion Strategic Response Fund. And the point of that fund, the point of government procurement, the point of linking up through supply chains, the point of working with labor, led by Unifor, is to build a made in Canada supply chain, a made in Canada option, so that we are less affected by these. Now that will take time, but we're already putting in place the building blocks for that.
No, yun yung kay Mark Carney yesterday, soon after in-announcing 25% tariff sa auto. So, he talked about EI, mukhang i-enhance nila yung EI for those who might be laid off. Pati sa mga kumpanya, they will give them a little more flexibility sa pagbabayad ng tax. Tapos may inanunsyo rin po siyang $2 billion investment that will help create a made-in-Canada supply chain for the auto sector. No? That's for the longer term. Okay, at least sa totoo lang ako, ang hinahanap ko lang naman dyan yung income replacement issue, di ba? Kasi yan ang kakailanganan namin sakaling malay off po si JJ. O sige, syempre baka sabihin niyo, hindi ko naman pinapakita ang response naman ng kabila ni Pierre Poilievre. Meron din tayo niyan. Sige, let me show you.
To the workers in the auto sector. You're afraid right now. You're anxious. You wonder how you're going to pay your mortgage or put food on the table. You're thinking about the conversations you may need to have with your little children about whether they can register for next year's hockey or this summer's soccer. You don't know if you'll be able to stay in the same city or what's going to happen to your future. Canada will be there for you. We will be there for you. We will ensure that you have income replacement to put food on the table and money in your bank account. We'll make sure that businesses directly affected will have the liquidity they need to get through this dispute. And we will unite as Canadians to protect our affected sectors. But more than that, we need to become strong, self-reliant, sovereign, so that we can stand on our own 2 feet and stand up to the Americans. What is clear is that 10 years of economic weakness have made us more reliant than ever on the Americans. 75% of our exports go to one country. Almost all of our energy, most of our raw materials go south because we can't get them anywhere else. We need to take drastic action to build an economic fortress in Canada, able to reach other markets around the world, repealing the anti-pipeline law, rapidly building LNG liquefaction plants, mines, factories, expanding and making our ports functional so that we can move our goods to other places around the world, knocking down the barriers between our provinces so that we can trade with ourselves for a change.
Okay, no guys. Yan naman tong kay Poilievre. Maliban sa, syempre, nireiterate din yan na hindi nila pababayaan ng mga workers. He will make sure that there will be money in the bank accounts of those who may be laid off. He also focused on the idea of expanding yung trade relations ng Canada dahil nga, sabi niya, over the past years, masyadong naging dependent sa Amerika. Ano guys, kanino kayo mas kaninong posisyon ang mas gusto nyo? As we all know, elections are coming up very soon also in Canada. And that is also why those running for Prime Minister, syempre, kailangan nilang ipresenta ng maganda mga plano nila sa isyong ito. Kayo ba, whose platforms, kumbaga, are you more inclined to support? Whose approach are you more inclined to support? I'm also curious about that. But until then, tulad nga ng sinabi ko guys, ang dami pa nating aabangan. Marami pang magiging development sa issue ng tariffs na ito. Ang Canada rin, inaabangan ko, di ba sinasabi nila, babalikan nila ang US. They will impose retaliatory tariffs sa Amerika. Tignan natin how that will work out. Do you support that? Dapat ba tama lang bang ginagawa ng gobyerno ng Canada na natapatan yung tariffs ng US? Before I close, nakakita rin pala ako ng report na ito about how some small businesses are saying na instead of laying off, they are just considering minor adjustments sa kanilang operations to keep workers from being laid off. Okay, ang sabi nila, maaring magkaroon na lang sila ng reduced hours for their workers, hiring freeze, para makaprevent ng significant layoffs. Yun nga lang, ang sabi rin dito, yan ay kung temporary lang at mabilis lang siguro itong tariffs. If the tariffs really are imposed for the longer term, baka hindi rin nila mapigilan na eventually magkaroon din ng malalaking layoffs. Ay, nako, no? Nakakalungkot, nakakabahala sa totoo lang. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this issue. Are you also concerned like me? Are you also directly affected? Baka sa inyo, yung mga kumpanya, no? Yung mga boss ng pinagtatrabahuan ninyo, meron bang sinasabi sa inyo mga plano? Let's just share each other some experiences to make us feel na hindi tayo nag-iisa sa sitwasyong ito. Anyway, I will end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!